Okay.
Turn this over to Anna for this.
Okay, couple of things. First of all, we are probably going to have a hearing next time. Let me tell you where we are on the Kathleen Sue White matter. We discussed that last board meeting. At the board's request, she had not responded to a subpoena, so I had her personally served with it. She was served and she did respond. Her response to a subpoena which asked for certain records for a specific auction in March of this year, she responded by giving us records from one individual and with a letter that says she knew that this is the guy who filed the complaint. And these were the records for this one guy, which is not what was requested. We had not had a complaint filed by this gentleman. It was simply her attempt, and to some extent, to get around actually responding to the subpoena. I have sent her a notice of noncompliance, which, as you know, in licensing is required before we take any further action. That's under Section 961 of the Administrative Procedure Act. And
What was the section again?
961 of the Administrative Procedure Act. It's the one we've been using since 2000. And we have not received, as of this date, a response. It has been more than 15 days. I would like to know the board's pleasure with regard to having a hearing on this matter for failure to respond to the board's subpoena.
Sue White.
Yes, Kathleen White, I think is her official name.
Yes.
White.
White,
White.
like the color.
Yeah, she's a Star,
Stark.
yeah,
Stark.
Louisiana. This is Calcasieu Parish.
So you want to set the hearing for the next?
I was wanting to set the hearing for the next meeting, but it was all right with the board too. So I don't have a specific complaint against her. The problem is that she is simply not responding to requests from the board that the board can't actually answer. That's a specific subpoena with regard to a specific auction date.
You have a
She did,
question?
yes. I know you mentioned that you sent her out and she sent something back alleging that this was the person, so she only sent those records, right?
She said was one specific, about 3 pages worth of the tickets and information regarding one consignor. Yes, that's correct.
Correct. Okay. And, because she's not complying, but she did respond and it didn't, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't responsive, let's put it like that.
Correct. It wasn't totally what we wanted, but she responded. And I know it cost us to have all this stuff done. So is she willing now to come in, or we're gonna have to subpoena her to the board meeting?
Well, she's not willing to do anything. She has not responded at all to any of our requests. The only reason she responded to that one is I actually sent an investigator out.
Correct.
It took, I think, 2 or 3 attempts to actually find her.
The specific complaint was what issue?
Originally, the Calcasieu Parish contacted me because she doesn't seem to have any sales tax accounts for any of her businesses.
And she still doesn't.
So, although there's not a sales tax judgment against her, the parish apparently has come to the conclusion that she is in violation of sales tax laws. And I simply asked her for one auction to see if she was filing her sales tax. That would conclude it as far as we were concerned.
And she did provide that information.
She has not provided.
And what her actual is, the sales tax issue, but it's not a violation of Louisiana Auctions License Board, correct?
Well, if she's not paying it, it's a violation.
But you said there
Right.
was no record of
But
anything.
she's
of
not
it.
She's not
providing the
paying.
She
information.
doesn't have an account.
No.
She's
She
not
doesn't
paying.
provide.
She's just laughing at
Yeah,
us.
she's
Well-
not paying and laughing at you.
Let's just say-
I think bring her in might get her attention enough for.
I'm not opposing that, Mr. Allen. I was just more so stating that if there's no record of any violations by the license, Louisiana tax revenue, or someone stating that, would give us more strength to substantiate that she's in violation with the board as well.
I'm not filing a violation of the statute, failure to have sales tax. I'm asking the board, they want to pull her in because she's not responding to the board's requests.
But you understand what I'm saying? Because the state has not issued any violations to her as of yet. Calcasieu Parish may have alluded to it in a sense that she may.
I honestly don't know that. They may
No, I'm
have
saying, she
taken
said
action.
that they told you that there wasn't any records of her doing any sales tax.
Right.
But we haven't gotten any formal state,
She hasn't proved that she is.
But I'm saying she has to prove that, but she also is innocent until proven guilty if anything is out there.
That's why we would have the hearing.
I move that she be brought before the board.
Well, we've already done that, haven't we?
No.
No, you told me to go, you wanted me to go serve.
You have a
We
question?
served it through
Well,
the
my
sheriff.
just question is, it's obvious she's not paying tax because Calhoun Parish has told us that. Why don't we send her a suspension letter of her license until she comes in front of this
You
board?
can't do that. If you do that, then she's in
Yeah,
violation.
only for public safety can we do that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
So that's what I'm saying, we need to get a little bit more information, especially a violation letter from
No, you
Calhoun
just told me to
Parish.
set it. If the board wants to
I'll
have.
second his motion.
Let me just ask this, could we not get Calhoun Parish to give us something substantial so that we can say, this is what they're saying? That way, when you come in here, then we are not putting you here presumptuously.
I'm not prosecuting her for failure to have sales tax, I'm prosecuting her for failure to respond to a board subpoena, which has
That's
power. It's
correct.
two different
But
things.
she's gonna ask what violation.
Insubordination to the board.
Well, that's not a
Yes, it
violation
is.
Yeah, it
Yes, it
is.
is. Serious violation. You lose your license.
because of what she does.
Yes, sir.
On what grounds?
You have to respond.
You have to respond to the board, Freddie,
But
and she's not done
But
that.
if she has no violation, then why would she have to respond?
But
Well,
it's violation.
It is
It is
a
violation.
violation.
On
You
what
have-
grounds are we going after her?
because Calhoun Parish told us.
But they did not give
No,
us anything
no.
to write.
No.
Let's go back. I'm not saying that because of her failure to not have sales tax. I'm saying that and this is up to the board. If it were a violation, if I had proof that she wasn't paying sales tax, I'd just gone ahead and set the hearing and I didn't brought it before the board, because this is something I think y'all need to hear. However, when I have an auctioneer, and I've had some in the past,
Unresponsive.
who just simply would not respond to an investigatory or information-seeking request from the board. The board has the jurisdiction to do that if they feel a licensee, there may be grounds for a licensee, basically to bring action. We can ask questions. Most of the time, we ask questions, there's no issue. We're not looking in just to catch people. We only do this when there is an allegation made. However, in her case, basically, she just doesn't want to talk to us. She's avoiding all authority in this matter.
Which you can't do.
How long has she been alive?
I'd have to look back, I don't recall right offhand.
When's that go down?
It's been a while.
Just because she's not.
It has been a while.
Didn't you make a motion?
We don't really need a motion unless no one can agree, and then we'll make a motion and I'll call a vote.
I'm gonna set this unless y'all tell me otherwise. It's basically the way it works.
Right.
But it is a cost to the board and,
Is it the next meeting in November you're gonna set it for?
yes, sir.
It'll be in the afternoon?
Yes, sir, it'll be right after the board meeting.
Now, this is gonna be on a Tuesday, right?
Correct.
Instead of a Monday.
Right,
But we're gonna have to pay the state attorney general to do this?
right.
So we're having a hearing on something that we're not sure she's not doing.
Well, we know she's not doing something.
Yeah.
The problem is whether she's actually violating what we started the investigation on is something
My
else.
point, my motion is strictly deals with this. Irregardless of whether she's committed a violation and owes sales tax or whatever, my point is this: it's insubordination to the board that she is ignoring what she's supposed to be doing when this board asks for something.
But it's not insubordination when
Oh,
the
yes,
board
it is.
has no grounds. That's harassment if it's anything. If the board has no grounds for
So you don't wanna do anything,
No, sir,
Brady?
no,
Okay,
sir,
one
listen
at
to
a
me, listen to
time.
me. I'm not saying that. I'm the one who's trying to get the young lady, and I've asked Ms. Dow, I'm for having her come before the board. I'm just saying our precautions should be a little bit more, we need to have a little bit more grounds, so when she comes in here, that there's enough substantiating evidence, at least from Calhoun Parish or someone else, to say, hey, this is why we bring her in, and now you haven't responded to the board. And I think that we should look at that, but just to bring her in on speculations and he say, she say, it's not warranted.
Hal, you have a question?
Yeah, and I somewhat agree that I'd like to see the substantiation, but I would lend to our attorney. Are you telling us there's enough grounds with her not coming to the board to bring her in?
Yes,
Okay.
the board has the authority to request information or subpoena information from any licensee.
And they gotta come.
That's
No,
correct.
And if they don't come, then they're in violation.
That's correct.
So you want information. It's a
It's not
fact-finding
common-
information.
Right.
It's what, we're not gonna accuse her of not paying her taxes.
That's
We wanna
usually
talk
that.
to her about it, and if she does not come, then she's in violation.
If she provides the information before the next meeting.
We've We've asked her questions, she will not respond. So this was the only way to get her to respond.
And I see where you're coming from.
Right.
And having that other information, although it would be useful if there was further prosecution, the fact that she's ignoring us is
She
enough
won't
to say,
answer us,
get
so
her
we
here.
can't say if
But
she has.
what if she asks the board, where's the complaint?
Well, she has to answer
We
the
have to have a complaint
question.
form,
Well,
right?
the board has a complaint that we've asked her to
We
come
do.
and she didn't show.
Yeah,
She
well,
answered
She didn't show up the
we've
first
asked
time.
So
her-
that's, but I'm just saying,
We've
Mr. Howard,
asked her
did we
to
have one
submit-
before?
I
That's
mean,
what I'm
she's under
talking about.
suspicion right now, so.
Correct.
And we told her to come and she didn't
Well, we
come.
told
now
her to
she-
answer these
I
questions,
haven't
and she
suspended
will
her.
not respond.
You haven't suspended her yet, but
Yeah.
we're giving her a chance to come and
We've given her a chance to respond.
Clear herself.
She's refused.
Let me, then I'll give
One
you the floor,
second.
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, I'm not in any way in any opposition to the board and what we designed to do. I'm more so on the cautionary measure that if we had complaints or a formalized complaint, even from Calcasieu Parish, you know, that she may be in violation, then that would give us, you know, a little bit more closure to make sure that when we do pull her in here, there are no offsets that she can come back against the board for any type of harassment, anything else like that. All I'm saying is, you know, if she's reluctant at this point and she's legit and coming in, then she may get tall and just say, that's what, I'm coming at the board now. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing that we shouldn't bring her in. I'm just saying we need to stack the decks that gives us the grounds to do so without any repercussion that's coming behind it.
We
And that's all
believe
I'm
we've
saying.
done that. You have a question?
I wanted to say, I've seen us, this board, bring people in. We have to pay the state attorney general girl, you know, she's the judge, and we have to pay a court reporter. And on more than one occasion, in my opinion,
We should have done.
we shouldn't even done it. It cost this board a fortune. You know, we had to pay all these people for all this, and the board immediately voted in favor of the person that we brought in. You know, so I just want to make sure that before we spend all this money that we're trying to be responsible for, that it's not going to be another one of those cases where, in my opinion, it was a waste of the board's money and time.
But Greg, in this case, she won't respond.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I understand that. I mean, right now I'm for it, but I'm
I
just,
mean, all she's gotta do, the way I
Exactly.
understand it, all she's gotta do, once Anna has her served, is suck it bull out.
Right.
Which she's
Yeah.
gonna have to through the sheriff.
but why do we even have to have a hearing?
Wait a
Why
minute.
can't you just come in front of the board?
Oh,
We served her, she didn't answer.
if I may finish.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
If whatever he serves her, Anna's gonna serve her with a set of interrogatories, is that correct?
It was a subpoena for a specific,
For a
asking.
specific deal. All she's gotta do is sit down, write a response to that subpoena, and have it notarized, send it to Anna.
She didn't even have to
She won't
notarize
do
it.
it. She doesn't have to
And
notarize, she can
then
just.
Anna's gotta answer the hearings called off,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, I don't want to spend.
That's not
money
my
that I don't have
question,
to.
though. My question is,
All we wanna do is respond.
we can't just
We can't
question
let her
her without
roll
the
the
state
vote.
attorney
Won't
general.
answer.
No, but say she, okay, what makes her gonna answer now when you send her the,
Well, then,
yeah.
Well,
Because
then-
she's gonna lose her license.
right.
But, okay, so why, I agree, why can't we question her? Why do we have to get all these people in?
Because if you can't do anything.
Okay.
Can't do it,
That's
because
what I
they got
want.
to have due
That's-
process.
That's what I wanted to
And let
know.
me say this,
I
we
mean-
can have we can have a meeting with her, if that's what you
Yeah.
wanna do. That's one reason I'm bringing this up, and simply see if I can get her here voluntarily.
See if you can do that
Behave-
first. See if you can do that
You
first.
wait just in November, try and see if I can do it
But
voluntarily.
I thought we already did that.
We tried,
We
yeah.
tried.
I'm just saying, if we can do it, it'll save us a whole bunch of
So
money.
we don't need to send Hal down there to see her, because he's having to run for reelection.
Not my district.
Oh, is that your district? Okay, well, I'll give you a.
Yeah, we can
Now,
send
you have a
you.
question?
Yeah, well, and I would like to see maybe as this board asks legal counsel to find some more substantial information from Calcasieu Parish tax assessor and see if she's in violation. Can you get us something from them
Well,
also?
let me-
I mean,
let
what
me-
would that take, a phone
This,
call?
basically, this is an odd situation. Normally what you have is you have them not pay the sales tax, but they have an account. Once it gets to judgment, our statute specifically addresses that issue. But secondly, in this case, all I would have was nothing. The only thing I could get from them saying she has no account, which they have not sent that to me in writing, but I probably can get that in writing.
That would be good to have, and then also,
But
did
then
we
I have
have an
to charge a
investigator that went there? None of our people,
Let me say, the sales tax also is very funny. Calcasieu is actually more cooperative than most parishes. Most parishes wouldn't tell me anything because it's financial privacy issues, until it's reduced to a judgment. But again, they may be able to tell me she has no accounts.
But they called up.
They
Yeah, they
called,
basically-
well,
they
was it Rufus Frugier, or who called you?
No,
I mean,
it was,
I mean, they'll work with you.
yeah, no, this
If you have
guy,
any problems, call the
Yeah.
police chief, he'll help
oh,
you.
no, they're
But y'all
very.
fixing to have a new one too.
I hope not.
Well, it's me.
No, it's,
But
they've been very, no, I
how
want
about
to tell you,
assessor?
they've been very cooperative among all the parishes with regard to this issue.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think I gotta agree with Freddie on some more information we have on her from the parish would substantiate if we have her here, that we could show her that you as an attorney have collected and been in communication with the parish. And
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. If we're going toward any kind of allegations and charging her with failure to pay sales tax, technically that has to be reduced as you'll tell me, Greg will tell me, is that it has to be reduced to a judgment first. And that is not going to be reduced to a judgment because I don't think Calcasieu Parish has gone to that extent to
Right.
try to guess how much she should pay them and then have that reduced
But
to
you
a
ought to have
judgment.
some record of the complaint
I'm-
from the complainant.
I have, but my problem is that I'm trying to help Calcasieu Parish.
Correct.
Because this is not the
Yeah.
only business she
One
has.
second, y'all, Jim has a
Um,
question. Jim, your question, Freddie.
No, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Jim, go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Anna. We might want to withdraw this motion. It does not have to be heard in November, does it?
No,
Let's do this. Let me pull the motion, and I'm gonna make a recommendation. So I want to withdraw my motion. Is there a second for this?
Yes, sir.
You second it?
I
I seconded it? Okay.
I didn't record it because Anna said we didn't need a motion,
Alright.
just for you guys to
All right.
decide.
I'm gonna make a recommendation over the next 60 days. You try to work with her. And if you can't get her voluntarily to come in here then and just talk to the board or address the board, or then we'll
Just answer the question.
answer the questions or whatever, then we'll talk about it. And get something from the Calcasieu Parish sales tax if we can to substantiate this.
well, let me say this, the only reason I bring it to you is solely for the purpose of whether we want to take action as people who ignore our subpoenas.
I understand that.
To me, that's the biggest
To
problem.
me, that's the deal, but I mean, you got two board members that don't like that idea, that's scared we're gonna get sued. I mean, we're
Well,
not
and-
gonna get sued.
And that's up to the
So,
board
I mean,
how
if
they
they
want
sue
to
us, they're
handle
gonna get
these.
thrown out of court, so it don't matter. But
But how, that's.
That's
are
not
you
my
confused?
opinion.
Oh,
I'm
that's
in
the
full.
opinion I was.
No, I'm in
we
full
were
opinion
all-
that we move forward with this and get her in here, because she's violating,
do,
she's
Well,
violating
I'm not
our
answering
the
our
question.
subpoena already. But I also would like for you to collect the information from the parish if you could.
Sure, I mean, I don't have a
That's what
problem,
I was
I
we
asking.
gotta have a
That's-
reason for bringing her in.
That's my only concern is that we need.
but I don't,
something.
right now, I don't have anything, well, I don't believe that I
I
have
mean,
anything
she's
to bring to
shunning
the
us
board
right now,
yet.
we ought to go get her.
I think
that's-
the only,
You just
talked against that.
No, I talked against getting, I want the information from the
Yeah.
parish.
Well,
That's
But
what
she
I
has
I never
to
talked
correct.
against going and getting her.
Usually when a sales tax entity calls a state board, whether it's a school board or who, action is taken immediately. They don't put nothing in writing, they just come after your butt.
If the sales
Well,
tax
she needs
entity in
to answer
Calcasieu
us.
had that, then they should have filed a complaint with the board stating that, giving us the grounds to pursue, correct, Ms. Dowd?
we had already conferred, how long has it been, a year or two ago?
Correct.
With this, because there was now a complaint
When it
filed
first
against
came
her.
up.
Complaint filed against her, Mr. Bordelon, basically moved and corrected me correctly also, that I cannot do anything to her for not having a sales tax account. I can only do something to
She
her
violates.
for having a judgment against her.
Correct.
So Calcasieu had to take a stand. They simply called me back on the grounds of wanting to know if we had ever done anything about it, because they were now finding there was another business that she had that did not have a sales tax account.
Well, evidently, where there's a little bit of smoke, there must be a forest fire burning on her down there.
So-
And that's why I wanted her to clear it up. All I
Well, I
wanted her
mean,
to
go ahead
say
and do
is,
what you gotta do.
Okay.
Well, just to
Wait,
reiterate,
time out.
I have no problem with his initial
Well, I mean,
motion
she
of that.
said
Yeah, we
you
didn't really
didn't need a
need, we
motion.
didn't need a motion, we're
Just
just
do-
trying to
do
get
what
the
you
board.
gotta do.
I need to get a feel for the board,
Right.
wants to
She
handle
just wants
these
an
situations
opinion.
where they
Get
completely
after,
ignore
but
you.
just get some more information from the parish also, that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Before we end discussion, the public, you have a question for us, Mr. Burns?
Well, yes, I know that several times it's been referenced that Greg said things need to be reduced to a judgment. Is it appropriate when the state of Louisiana is suing a company for alleged sales tax underpayment that it at least be discussed by this board?
If there's a judgment,
So if there is no judgment, we don't even bring it up?
that's my understanding for the board.
Okay.
That's what-
Meaning that it's something that has latitude, because would the board members like to weigh in on this?
Technically, by law, the sales tax and sales tax collection is a financial privacy issue, which is the state sales tax will tell you, they are not gonna give you any information about it. So
If they've sued them,
judgment.
if they've sued them, it's a matter,
It's a lawsuit filed, you know about it.
Yes,
A
possible.
civil suit,
yeah,
correct?
Yes.
Civil?
yeah, the Department of Revenue is suing the company for collection of sales taxes. Is that something the board feels like it ought to, at least be aware of?
I think so.
You do?
I feel the same.
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, we should be known of all issues that come up. That
Yeah,
relate to
some
sales
that
tax.
might be
Well, I
hitting
mean,
us down
it'd
the
be
road.
good to know, but I mean, you.
I'm not saying anything will be done about it, because you're correct,
Anything
until,
about it Until there's a judgment or, you
Right.
Okay.
Because you can't ever tell, you know how tax entities are, they say people owe stuff that people don't think they owe, and, you know.
Yeah, they usually negotiate out without a
You know,
judgment
correct.
into a stipulation.
Settlement.
Let me ask you this. The failure to communicate with this board is reason enough for us to take action, suspending the license and notify her that the board has
Well-
approved a suspension of her license until she communicates.
No, I
We
agree
have to have
that.
a hearing.
Huh?
We have to have a hearing before.
But I
we
don't
can
like the idea
suspend
of having a
the
hearing
license.
if you don't have to have one, is all
Right.
I'm saying.
Well, I agree, I would agree with that.
Has to
But
answer us.
it looks like, but since she won't communicate,
Yeah.
we got to say, hey, you ain't got no license.
But we're gonna have to have
Okay, so-
something in writing and all that to bring her in.
Well,
And
I'll
I think-
wait, I'll table it for November and we'll put it on
But you're gonna-
until January.
You're gonna ask her again to respond.
Yes.
But if
We'll
she
ask
doesn't
her for
respond by
the-
she
November,
doesn't,
we
right.
can,
If
we
she
can.
doesn't respond by November, then we'll set a hearing.
Yeah, they will just
Be
go
aware that we've
forward.
been working with her and is having this problem for years now, so.
Well,
I would like to have done it before the end of the year so I could take action if she tries to renege. That's the
okay,
idea.
let's move
Wait,
along
you
here.
gotta-
I know, I see it. Okay, everybody, if you wanna
Okay,
talk,
wait.
talk to the whole board.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
with
making.
regard,
wasn't
I'm
it-
still on my,
But Mr. Barnes has
Oh,
another
okay.
question. You have another question?
so
Mr.
in
Barnes?
theory, if she shows up at the next meeting and she says, look, if they sue me over this, I'm gonna fight it, then where does the board stand?
We'll cross that bridge when we get.
Well,
to
no,
it.
I mean, that's why I brought up the question earlier about if someone has fought it and there is litigation, does the board even want to be aware of it? And Mr. Bordelon said that they did, so at least.
I
it-
do, yeah.
Okay.
I wanna know.
yeah, and I usually try to check to see if someone has, but obviously I can't check all the states, all the parishes and all the states. But however, with regard to her, if she shows up and she has a sales tax account, then that's all I need to know, to be honest with you.
But if she
Well-
doesn't and don't have any records of any sales,
Then I'm assuming that Calcasieu Parish has a good cause of action against her for failure to pay sales tax, since she did admit at least on
But
one
she showed
occasion
you,
that she's
yeah.
running an auction.
yeah, correct. She
It
sent
has
the
been for
information
last year,
concerning
so.
that. I mean, I know we have it with that, but we don't have, and I'm agreeing with the board. I'm just saying, if Calcasieu brought it to our attention, they should have been the one to initiate a complaint so that this board can initiate what it needs to do.
Okay. You ready to move on?
Let me go on to, real quick, to